call this meeting of the Water and Sewer District to order on March 27th. So up first would be the meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
No, up first is
Board reorganization. Oh, yes.
Sure,
I just glossed right over that.
You can change it up however.
Could have been a Freudian slip.
And maybe you guys do want to talk about it, I don't know.
Yeah, so, I know we rotate. I have no interest in being the board chair. So, I would defer back to you two as to what you want to do, or how you want to do proceed. But
Well, if you want to continue for this year,
I'm
That's
fine
fine.
with that.
okay.
So somebody should make a
I will
motion.
make a motion
All right.
that Chris continue as board chair.
I think you're
So
second.
moved. Second.
Right, either way.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I vote on myself?
I'll
I don't
be-
know.
Yeah, you vote for yourself. It's not your name, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll
so-
make a motion about the meeting minutes,
Thank you.
that they are accepted as presented.
For this meeting minutes from March
March
13th, right. Second on this?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so next up, manifest and payroll.
I'll make a motion, we accept the manifest and payroll
Okay,
and sign them there as.
So moved.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I believe it's just the
It just looks
manifest.
like manifest,
Payroll
right?
this
Payroll
week.
was
It is. I think it'll be finished tomorrow before 11 o'clock, so the money can be moved.
I'm raising one eyebrow.
Not seeing
But
it.
not both.
If I raise one, that's usually more dangerous than
Yeah,
if I
well.
raise two.
Duly noted. Okay.
Item number 1 under new business is just simply
Right,
an
Quentin Blaine
announcement.
has agreed to serve as our moderator for the district.
You got 11 votes.
Perfect.
So
There you go.
Who else
okay.
got votes?
We thank him.
We only had
Bobby Clay. No, this was at the,
town meeting.
yeah, but
Yes.
since nobody was on the ballot, it was all write-in.
Write-in,
And he
yeah.
got 11, and I think Bobby got 10.
Nice.
Oh, did somebody take my sheet of,
I did not have any other sheet here.
no, not tonight, the night of the annual meeting, I had copied the clerk's vote tally. Yeah, no, but I made a copy, and then I handed it to one of you guys so you could see what it was, and then it wasn't here. Maybe she picked it up.
I
Yeah,
didn't
I
deliver
don't
it.
have
I
it.
mean.
Yeah,
I
it was
could-
sort of down that way, I think.
Yeah.
No, you guys mostly leave stuff on the table, so I wasn't.
Yeah.
But and I can get it again. I just checking. Because
Right.
when Quentin asked me how many votes did I get, I'm like, I don't know. Someone took my tally, but that's fine. Thank you.
So number 2 on new business would
Yep.
be a general services agreement for Wright Pierce.
Right, and we have.
What does this mean? All
Well-
reimbursable by the developer?
Yeah, we have.
Oh, I see. For the new Irving and the new
Yeah.
Veterans Housing
Right.
Development up by
Normally
by
we get
Walmart.
into agreements with them, project specific. This one, they call it a general services agreement, and so
Yes.
they can review the work that Jason's involved with citing the new Irving and the new Veterans Housing Development,
Right.
and it's all reimbursable by the.
Where is this taking place?
The Irving is out next to the
Hey, Bill.
Liquor store.
liquor store,
Right, and
and
then,
then the
It's gonna be
Veterans.
back behind,
no, I think my guess is it's
no,
going to
it's
be
next to-
right on Tenny
So,
Mountain
To
Highway.
the,
Next.
to the left.
Yeah.
next to McDonald's.
Nope, it's in that, it's on that, if when you go out there, there's a pad that's flattened out between the old liquor store and the new liquor store, there's sort of a pad there.
So will that be a new curb cut, or will
It's
you?
a new curb cut,
Yeah.
but it's not a
They're-
new sewer curb cut. The sewer
They're
will go
letting
across.
them do another curb cut on Tenny?
That's
That's
not up
the
to
state.
me.
Hold on a
That's-
second.
Wow.
Bill might have something to know.
You might have
Bill,
something to say
let
about
us
that.
know. Let us know what you know.
So, yeah, it's in Irving with a convenience mart. There are 2 curb cuts that are already approved, which is kind of a surprise, but that house that was there that got torn down?
Yes.
Apparently there were 2 curb cuts so it's going to be like a U.
I see.
So they're gonna use those existing curb cuts for the yellow house that was there, that
Yep.
was Blossom Painting's old.
It's not going to be the exact same configuration, but they're allowed,
Okay.
to do that.
So the curb cut issue, is that something that is required state approval or
Yeah,
municipal?
DOT.
And they allowed, and did the town get to weigh in at all on it at all?
Well, so the curb cuts that are currently cut, or at least approved by DOT, they can be, remain there
Because
until.
they're
they're
already
there.
existing.
Yep,
Okay.
and what we've tried to do, or at least suggested, is that if they had like a parallel access road
Yeah.
to get traffic off.
Yes.
But that didn't
Eventually,
fly.
they said,
They did?
at that meeting, that same meeting, I watched
The planning board?
It was a planning board meeting.
Not to the 7-Eleven. They're not gonna probably allow access that way. They're gonna allow access to McDonald's, that way.
Eventually,
Liquor store, yeah.
yeah. Right, that's
And
what I
They're
meant.
gonna put in services in that swale.
Yeah.
Until they build that up.
But they're just extending their own
Wow.
sewer line.
Got it.
Yep.
All right.
So that's that one. And the other one
Thanks,
is
Bill.
not called Soldier On anymore. It's called Harbor Homes Development, and that's the Veterans Housing Project. up.
That's gonna be
Beyond
up past,
McDonald's, Walmart.
Yeah, but our topic is, do we want to hire our engineers to review these plans and get reimbursed for it?
Well,
Yeah, probably.
I would say yes.
So we need a
I'll
vote.
make a motion that we accept the general services agreement for Wright Pierce for the developers of the new Irving and for the Veterans Housing Development.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
It looks like I get to sign.
So the new veterans housing would be behind the orthodontics?
Yeah, it's up high.
Is it just Chris signing?
Yeah.
Do we need to make a motion for Chris just to sign it, or you'll just include it?
I don't think so.
How big is that? Bill, do you know how big that veterans home is gonna be?
Yeah, I think it's like 32 units, 35 units, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a reduction from, I think initially it was like 50. And this iteration is a smaller, footprint.
Mr. Chairman, you had signed this one earlier, but I wanted to bring it to the board so that you could have a vote
Okay.
in public. I think
And
that's.
This is the formality of the loan for
Yeah.
this sewer asset management. That's what you're.
Hold on a second. The next item, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, no, the required the signature. Was that also
No,
for right
that
here?
was right
these
there.
were two different general services agreement, one for the liquor, one for the the Irving, and one for the soldiers.
I see, okay.
Yeah. And then, did you start to talk about the clean water?
Well, yes, that would be the
Okay.
the next.
Okay.
the next-
Whenever you're ready.
You go right ahead.
Okay, this is the $30,000 revolving loan fund loan, which is
That's 100%
100%
reimbursable.
reimbursable, right, for GIS. So you need a vote for that too. And then what Mike Terrio's asked is if you'll vote to designate me as a signer, because it just can go faster.
Sure.
Okay,
Judy?
Okay.
so you need
Make a
to,
motion, we accept the CWSRF loan for sewer asset management and make Mel the signer of all papers.
So moved.
and that's $30,000, and that's for wastewater.
Yes, sewer asset management.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Next up would be abatement request at number 2 Carpenter Park Road.
Here it is. This was a leak. There's quite a bit of narrative if you want to read it. 2 Carpenter Park Road.
Mm-hmm.
Should we read it aloud for our one little student?
So we abate the sewer.
Our big student.
We just abate the sewer,
Right. Okay.
yeah, based on the leak.
And how do we qualify that, the number of gallons? That was based on his,
Previous. It's usually
Kim
based on.
extrapolates it
okay.
from history.
Right. So
Yowza.
There's a lot of water. Was
Let's
it 58 or
explain what
59?
an abatement
Fifth,
is.
535 gallons.
Yeah,
535,000.
Gallons.
Wow. Half a
That's a
million gallons.
heck of a leak.
That's called aquifer recharge.
So what an abatement is that somebody requests that if there was a leak or something like that, that they don't have to pay for the water that leaked like into their basement or something if it didn't go out the sewer. So we have the authority to either grant that or say no. And
In most cases,
cases,
yeah.
we grant it because it's a legitimate case where if you have your hot water heater breaks or something like that, and you don't realize it's leaking. And obviously 585,000 gallons is quite a bit of money.
May have been helpful to how we bill our customers are based on
Start
two
from the
things.
beginning.
And so we bill people for how much water they use, and we also bill people for how much sewage they contribute. And typically the amount of water you use contributes to your sewage. Some people, though, don't have water, so they're not in the district. And some people only use water and have septic systems and only get one bill. In this case, this guy had a leak in his house, so he used 500,000 gallons of water, but it did not go into the sewer system, it went into the ground. So it would be unfair of us to bill him a sewer charge for that rate. So we're gonna refund that money for him, because it went into the ground, not into the sewer system.
And so we didn't have to pay to process it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well,
So,
motion?
sure, I will make a motion that we abate
Abate.
the property at 2 Carpenter Park Road and for $6,299.08 for the 535,000 gallons and change that did not go down sewer.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So this-
The last item here is just informational. Our new treasurer, Bobby Clays, asked us to investigate the possibility and the cost associated with providing an electronic signature for him.
So-
That would be some software.
So would that mean he could sign from off-site when he come in?
I think he'd still have to come in, but the signature could go on the checks electronically.
So you're gonna sign every one of them.
Right, which is what we do now.
Okay.
So I think it's gonna be $3,000 to $5,000, because it'd be the software to do it, and then it would be certified having to be on site to help set it up.
So he would just approve a manifest, and then once that, the checks would generate automatically with his
Yes.
signature on
Yeah,
them.
they'd be printed. We don't have the costs assembled yet, so I'm just letting you know this is what he's asked for, and we're trying to put together a
Does the
proposal.
Surprisingly expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does the school
how many
do
checks
that?
are we
Does the-
talking about every 2 weeks? Oh, not just payroll, all checks.
Right, right. The way we do payroll now is all direct deposit. Nobody gets a check.
Right.
So those aren't signed, it's just all the AP.
He's not.
He's
Yeah.
asked, we'll.
Yeah, I don't have a huge problem
Yeah,
with it.
well, we don't, I'm just letting you know, we're
Yeah,
gonna,
it's
we're gonna assemble
non-trivial.
a proposal for him, and just, he's also, consolidated the accounts that we had,
Bank
in
accounts.
yes, savings accounts in Woodsville Bank and in the Bank of New Hampshire. They're all, I'll say, collapsed into, the MVSB accounts. And the protection that was being afforded under FDIC for the $250,000 limits, that doesn't matter anymore, according to Bobby, who served on the bank board at CGSB, so I trust that he knows. The MVSB has other, I don't think the word is collateral, but they have other insurances. So the $250,000 limit that was under FDIC just goes away, it doesn't matter. So he's collapsed everything, for which I am grateful, because now we just have one easy.
We have one checking account, one savings account, and
Yes,
we're
one money
good.
market, and he's also negotiating a better interest rate to have that money collapsed
Okay.
together.
Well,
And,
yeah, if it's all in one location, then
yes, he went down there to talk with them. And the other piece that's good is he's going to keep more money in the checking account, so that every 2 weeks, we don't have to have a mad scramble to make sure we cover whatever, if there's
Right.
if there's a glitch, it sends everything into a little panic.
right,
If there's an electronic glitch or
whatever.
whatever reason.
Somebody forgot to do something on time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I guess I'd like to hear this, the clarification on how.
The FDIC?
Yeah, that
Sure.
aspect of it. I
All
mean,
right.
even if you just point me to a web reference, just so I understand.
Okay, yeah, I'll get him to talk to
Seems
me.
Yeah.
like,
But I raised one eyebrow on that one too.
right.
He's gonna be in, but probably after you go to sign
Yeah, that's
checks.
fine. I don't think it's a rush, but I think
Yeah.
it's our responsibility
Yeah, I mean,
to
I
understand
did,
that.
I raised my eyebrow
Yeah.
too, but he
Yeah.
spoke convincingly but I'll check for us.
All right, so I believe that covers new business, which brings us to old business.
And this, because we have a new treasurer, we've done this several times. The law requires that if you're gonna delegate duties to staff, depositing authority or
Right.
banking reconciliation authority, that the treasurer appoint and the board ratify. So this is the paperwork that goes with that. This would give the office manager and the financial assistant authority to deposit, and this reconciliation would give the financial assistant authority to assist with the reconciliation, because the treasurer has to do it with her also.
Okay.
So that's another vote.
Steve, you want to take that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd make a motion to approve this delegation of deposit authority
And reconciliation.
and reconciliation.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the people are named by name, so if we ever had a staff change or anything
They are
like that, it
named
would
by
be...
position.
Okay, so if there's a staff change, that goes with the position?
It would go with the position.
Okay.
We could change it at any meeting. So
No, that's fine,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
wondering.
I'm not sure the statute says you have to name the individual, just if
Okay.
it's delegated to, it has to be done in writing.
Got it.
All right. While we're signing, we've got number 2, which is
Yeah.
withdrawal from capital reserve.
Yeah,
For
so
the septic
let me remind you,
receiving
last year when we went over the financing for the ongoing project, remember Penta's, I don't know if I can find it, but I could go get the math. Penta's bid came in quite high. They knocked off $350,000 worth to bring,
Yes.
and then,
So we broke it into phases.
yep, to make it work, the board had agreed to withdraw money from capital reserve to make the budget work even with the things they backed out. I didn't ask you to vote to do it because we were exactly sure of the amount. Now we're getting closer. So, the amount that was estimated was $137,000. I would ask you to withdraw, ask the trustees to withdraw $140,000. So we can complete the project with Penta.
Is that all we have left to do
No.
with them?
Oh, no. Remember, we're in interim financing for
Right.
$970,000.
Signature there too.
When we get to substantial completion, which Mike tells me is May, fingers crossed, then we'll turn around to RD and say, we want to close on the loan,
Right.
and please give us our 25% grant money.
Yes, that would be nice.
So this is to get us through. There's $177,000 left in the interim financing.
Okay.
So this will bridge us through the substantial closing, and then no more. We've got to, we've got
Cool.
to dovetail it time-wise.
So I'll make a motion, we withdraw from capital reserve for the septic receiving unit $140,000 to hopefully get us through our interim financing.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the subject of RD, are we? Have been in communication?
Yeah, we've been in communication a lot. We're trying to schedule a meeting. Jason sent out a doodle request for a meeting, and everybody could meet this coming Monday morning at 9:30 except the most important guy from RD. So right now, it's looking like it might be 11 o'clock on Monday.
Okay.
Get all the parties together.
Okay.
Cool.
On that,
And then we find out how much loan we get. Or then we,
Yeah, I mean, RD's been talking about providing 100% of the sewer, 100% meaning loan and grant.
right,
And, I don't know if Monday we'll find out the amount of the grant or who's going to do which financing piece.
okay.
There's a lot of moving,
Parts.
a lot of moving parts. So we'll know more, but the state and the MBTE monies, I don't believe are available to know anything until August.
Oh,
Yeah, so,
that's horrible.
yes, there's a lot of,
Moving parts.
yeah, there's actually, I don't think this is off topic, I didn't put this on the agenda, but I did a little spreadsheet of the projects that we have happening, so that you all can see when the design timeframe is, and when the construction timeframe is. I guess that's, you guys have the copies.
Oh yeah, that's really helpful.
Yes.
This is great.
Yeah, I mean, just for my own sake, and I thought I would, so, Bailey Ave and Langdon Park Road, those will get designed and constructed first.
Right, because they're this year,
Yep, and there's the money,
right?
the estimated cost.
Yeah.
And then, there were questions, do we go with RD because of timing? Do we go with RD with the sewer and wait to get a better offer on water money? And we could keep this, we can keep the notes section up to date. Holderness Well Development, we're gonna proceed with that one. And the distribution system, that won't even get designed till next year.
Right.
Right, so these are all the projects that were approved the other night, and on it goes, when the construction is estimated, but at least Bailey Ave and Langdon Park Road seem, those will be the priorities, and the water development, that will sort of go on its own with Jamie Emery.
Right.
Cool. This is
And
great.
some of the other moving pieces, you might remember when we borrowed the $375,000 to start the well development over there, bond counsel said, you have to pay this back in 5 years, so that's how we arranged that loan. So in terms of rolling it, you can't roll it into a 30-year loan, and I'm sure that this next chunk of money will have the same requirements, but I was hoping that would at least help keep us a little bit organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is great.
Yeah, just FYI, Mel, just let me know when we have some kind of a meeting on at least Bailey Ave and Langdon Park Road, since that's coming up first.
Okay.
So I'd like to, it's really helpful for me to sit on some of those, so visually I see what's going on.
You mean engineering meetings?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
The other thing I did not put on the agenda, because it's just a signature item, is the statement of appropriations that needs to go to the DRA after we have annual meeting. And here it is. It's just a matter of keying in the numbers that were appropriated. And,
No motion required on this?
yeah, I think,
We usually motion for it.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt to do that.
I make a motion, we sign at the MS 232 to go to the
DRA.
state DRA for town meeting, district meeting.
Yeah, it's required by law, we have to do it.
Mhm.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Put our tiny signatures in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That and the minutes have to go in 20 days after, within 20 days after annual meeting, and the minutes we have not seen yet from the treasurer, from the town, the district clerk.
Okay, Steve. Any other old business?
I don't think I have any.
I guess we can go on to purchase recs.
Any more movement on the discussion with Alex Ray and Steve Rand?
Not really. I haven't, did you
Yeah,
see it?
I just saw like, oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
have a note. I sent,
It's in their,
I don't know
it's
if
in
you
their
were here for
court.
this last time, somebody asked me, but it's in their court.
Okay.
I sent Steve an email, and when I saw Alex came in to talk about the soldiers thing the other day, and I told him that he was invited to that meeting, because I'm not sure he was on the email to Steve, but they're invited.
Okay.
I see Steve's car sometimes, but I won't like run in and find him
Sure.
wherever he is, but if I don't hear anything, I'll send him another email. He's busy.
Well, I
So,
mean,
no legislature.
if it's in their court, it's in their court.
It's in their court.
And I'd
Yeah, no,
like to-
they're warmly invited.
Yeah. Purchase orders?
Yes, purchase recs. We have 5 this week. first up is in the amount of $2,506.81 payable to Wright Pierce for engineering in furtherance of the USDA loan applications. Number 2, $859.56 payable to EJP for replacement parts unknown. Number 3, $5,999.64 payable to Hack for lab supplies. And number 4, $9,655 even payable to plastic pipe fabrication for a new sewer camera to video sewer lines. And then number 5, PO in the amount of $1,773.80 payable to Maltz Sales for a new dechlorination pump.
Mm-hmm. And that, our 8-year-old pump failed today, and they had to jury rig together, so it's a necessary piece of equipment. So I told them I'd get it on the agenda tonight.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask what happened. I'll make a motion, we accept them as read.
So moved.
Discussion.
Um,
What are the parts?
yeah, what are the parts and
What parts?
the
Oh.
EJP, Prescott's parts, EJP?
Clamp and saddles.
I have a feeling that's for putting
The pipe
in-
repair that was done on Island?
No, I think clamps and saddles have to do with, water and water hoosies.
Well, I'll trust that those were needed. Did we, the video
Yeah, I was just gonna ask about
Yeah.
the video camera.
we've had some discussion on this in the past year.
Yes, we have, and I asked again today. The camera that we have has such a flimsy feed. To
Yes.
get it into the sewer, they can only go about 50 feet.
And then we've had to hire
Other people.
contractors to do work that we couldn't do,
Right,
which is more money than,
Buying a camera.
right.
okay. So,
That's what I asked. Do you guys really need this?
so cost benefit analysis says buy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a expensive little camera.
Yeah, I can't imagine a contractor daily rate is cheap, so.
Right.
Do we have a motion? I mean, do we have a vote on,
There was discussion. There was, I think.
oh, yes, right. So, yeah, we
Discussion.
have a motion. All is in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And now,
We
5:50.
need to sign.
Oh, yes, I guess we do need to sign this.
Sure you wanna be chair?
Yeah, sorry, I don't have my mind today.
You got here early, you're all messed up.
I did feed the dog, though. It's important. She doesn't let me forget that.
Nope, mine was howling as I walked out the door. So that isn't anything new.
While you're signing, let me make the announcement. We are reviewing our rules and regulations, and we intend to hold public hearings on the same sometime in the future. We're not ready to set dates yet, but we will do public notices and continue to announce that we're going to review the rules and regs and hope for adoption this spring.
And this is what our,
Well,
intern is
Jason
helping
and
work
Mel
on.
and Kim
And Jason and Mel and Kim and our intern.
and the intern did formatting.
Right.
So yes, and now it's with our attorney.
Excellent. Is that all of it? No, I have some.
Oh, you do. Public comment. Go ahead, Bill.
Okay, so there's actually a few items. And,
Actually, Bill, could you hold on? We have a student here from the high school. Do you have any questions at all so far?
I'm good.
Awesome. Thanks, Bill.
I think I intimidated. I'll take over. So the first one, I think you kind of like hinted at or something, is the the replacement project for Soldier On, and we received an email regarding what appears to be concern about the slowdown of the project and maybe the unrealistic expectation of doing some testing before, or like flow testing, and I could read the whole email, but you may have already seen it. I don't know.
Actually, the reason why I brought it up, Bill, is because this was the first I've ever heard of the project. I knew nothing of this prior to me seeing it right here. So-
We haven't received an application from the parties, so there's no, in fact, when Alex Ray came in the other day to talk about it,
It did come
I'm
before.
actually glad you brought this up, because this business about the district holds on to things and slows projects down.
Yeah, if we don't get
I would really
applications,
like,
we can't do
I would really like to
anything.
debunk that myth. We assured Alex that we had not received an application. Jason had several pages of emails back and forth with the engineer, letting him know what the time frame was, what the requirements were,
And the fact they have to fill out an application.
and the fact that they have to fill out an application. And Jason memorialized the meeting we had with Alex, which was very cordial and very nice. We were just letting Alex know that there's no, I have not seen that, but that there wasn't, we don't have the project yet to slow it down.
Do you want me to read the email?
It's up to the chair.
I'm fine with that, yes.
So this was actually from Vanessa Talazian, or Talaz.
Bill, who was the email sent to?
It was sent to Alex, Kathy Bentwood, J. Bradford Westgate from winerbennett.com. Jeff
Who
Lewis.
are these people?
They are the company that I believe is our North Point Engineering, New
Okay.
Hampshire Partnership,
Right.
NHHFA.
Okay.
It's Peter Keller, Jeff Lewis, Rob DePice. And the subject was your help needed, Boulder Point, Plymouth Water and Sewer District.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. They need to email us. We haven't seen this. Notice we're not copied on that at all,
I think
right?
they're working with, at this point, no, I think they were trying to like garner support to hurry the district along in its evaluation.
But we don't have
if we
anything
don't have
to
an
evaluate.
Right, if we don't have an application.
When Alex met with us, he had tried to find your planner, who was out for that week, I guess. We don't have the application to act on.
We have nothing to slow them down
We
with.
assured Alex, and we would with any application, that we would proceed with all deliberate speed, but we would be methodical in our review. And that Jason had piles of emails with the engineer. And if you're gonna let him read that, then I'm gonna read Jason's follow-up to the Alex meeting, explaining.
Do you want me to, okay, you want me to?
I think that it's being handled. Alex was going to go back to his folks and just have them continue to work with Jason on. We said that we would do a bit of a simultaneous review, not wait for planning board, which I guess they have planning board approval already. But Jason has been in touch with their engineer. They need to get the application in.
Right.
And Jason,
So what's the date on this?
we met with Alex last 23rd.
All right.
Thursday or Friday. He
And
emailed
somebody
us at
still hasn't come in
7 o'clock
and-
in the morning and said, "Can I meet with you guys at 8?" We said, "Sure." We sat right down with him. You know, he didn't have an application in his hand. He came in to run interference, but none's really needed.
Yeah.
If they get
So
the
this
application,
email was dated the 22nd, so.
Yeah,
you
that's
emailed
why
us on
Alex
the
came.
23rd, yeah.
And we don't, as Mel's saying, as of tonight, we still don't have an application from them. So our,
Their implication is that they've already received feedback and it's saying that you won't review until.
we have nothing to
all other
review.
water-related permits are also in hand, like irrigation, sprinkler system. That
But,
makes sense, or?
Well, that would.
go ahead.
Well, I'm not sure about the sprinkler system would not that be the fire marshal approving that, or
No,
is this about the water?
That's
water
part about
quantity?
the mortar, but it has to go on the engineering plans. So part of the issue is, we don't have an application, we don't have engineering plans. We can't send those engineering plans that we
To our
don't
engineer,
have
right.
because they need to go to our engineer, but we don't have the plans to send them along. We don't have an application to go with the plans that we don't have. So it's all coming back to the fact that we don't have anything.
Okay, well, they're under the assumption that they, at least they consulted probably with Jason then, and was told that you can't move forward until you have this, this, and this.
Correct. We can't move forward until we have an application and the
Right, so-
engineering plans, so we can send them to our engineer, so our engineer can review them, so we can give them approval.
And they were told, I guess these other plans typically follow after a builder's permit, main water system are in hand, because, I mean, it looks like a very frustrating, time that they're having, probably because that,
No
I think
left
they
hand and
may-
the right hand
They wouldn't go
don't
before
know.
the planning board without a design,
Yeah.
and, which could be discussed. And presumably, if they have that design, then that should be part of their application with us.
With us.
It's interesting to
exactly.
note that if they're frustrated with us, they haven't communicated with us about this.
but
Well, they sent
got
Alex
to a
in.
level they did communicate on some level. They theoretically hit a roadblock, and now they're,
Well, I think you may be hearing part of the story. I don't know that the board wants to take time to have that read and have then Jason's.
could I ask what did Alex was gonna go to Kathy or you don't know? Did he indicate that? Okay.
I would think at this point, it's the engineers who need to come in.
Here's
Fill out the permit,
Let me
right?
just read 2 sentences. Please be aware that the district is in no way holding up this project. Whomever relayed this comment to you has been improperly informed. We are waiting for 3 applications to come in this office before we haven't seen the documents that are necessary for Jason to do a full review. And then we're gonna have our engineers look at it. The developer has been told that it takes 60 to 90 days from submittal to approval. So,
I think I think one thing that the select board and the folks at this table can agree upon is that we all have a high degree of confidence in Jason, and we rely on him to be a clear presenter of information. I think that, I have confidence that he was not misleading anybody, so.
he also, in the rules and regulations, has the authority
Authority.
to do this work. And, the approval then comes to you with his recommendation.
Right.
But in terms of what is required from the developers, it's
Right,
all
we don't
spelled
have
out.
any of that.
Right.
Right.
Whenever I ask him for a one-sentence and I ask him a question expecting a one-sentence answer, I get 3 pages. That's just the way he is.
Yeah, and the
So-
other thing, Bill, is I think for a long time, there was a lot of confusion. People would go to the planning board and get approval, and they assumed that the approval also meant they were approved by us. So
Usually here, just the other way around, where they usually come to the, water and sewer, and then we get the planning board, but maybe they've learned.
No.
So-
Well, no, because I've been on this board for 18 years or something ridiculous, but it's, in my recollection, it has been where we'll find out that there are developments happening and they're expecting water and sewer, and we don't have anything. We don't have an application. Sometimes we don't even have a name of a developer or development. And then it's like, well, we got planning board approval, and it's like, well, that's great. We're glad you got planning board approval, but you didn't get our approval. Because we do have to look at where hydrants are placed. We have to look at sprinkler system. We have to make sure our
Load on the pumps.
a load on the pumps, right, everything. So
Capacity, yeah.
that's part of their application. So they need to fill out an application with us. That application will say how many units they're gonna have, and it's gonna come with their engineering plans.
So it seems that the funding, though, is gonna be like running out by the May 9th. So if,
Well, they have funding deadlines they have to
Yeah.
meet, but if they get their
If they get,
applications
yeah,
in,
we can start reviewing
we
it.
can't respond to their funding deadlines unless we have the work from them so we can review it. We don't even have the building permit from the planner, which requires department checkoff, and we're
building
listed.
permits apparently has been done.
Well, as of last Thursday, it hadn't shown up here yet, and as part of your building permit process, department heads have a sign-off, and we have a page for sign-off. It wasn't here as of last Thursday. I don't know what's happened in between.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I told Alex, and I think he and I have a good enough relationship that he thought I was credible. We're not in the business of holding up anybody's projects. In fact, our current rules and regulations say we won't even look at anything until planning board approves it. And last year, we said, is there a way that we can do a simultaneous review? We won't approve it until the planning board does, but could we not have one whole process go forward and then stop and start a whole new process?
Right, so we can do simultaneous review as planning
Well,
board.
in our new rules and regs, it doesn't talk about, that's eliminated basically.
Right.
So we can proceed to do things simultaneously.
But we still need the application in hand
Yeah.
and the plans, which we don't have.
Okay, I'll check with Alex.
Yeah.
The other one was, we mentioned it at our select board meeting to have like two kind of levels of, what you guys showed up last, two levels of kind of like board meetings.
Right.
One's like a more technical thing where you'd have like a board member and, you know, we'd have a board member and Joe.
Yep.
And
Yes.
you would have Jason and
Jason.
a member
Yes.
of your board.
Yep.
And that would be very appropriate to go ahead and maybe like set something up, because specifically with the, you know, Foster's Road, and the project that, you know, is about probably to commence again, right? The paving or Foster Street.
Soon
Yeah,
enough,
as soon
right?
as
Yeah.
spring.
Yeah.
And did you name people that would meet with us?
Well, Joe and.
Well, I get that. I get that name.
I think we had a volunteer, but I'll get your name.
Okay, great.
And Joe did raise some concerns again as far as like the Foster Street project, and I'm certain he's raised it to you, or at least Jason as well, or regarding the kind of the patchwork that was done on
Yeah.
Foster Street. And
Have you seen the correspondence that was sent back to Mr. Ranlett last year from Jason? He responded to,
yeah,
it was either to Joe or to Mr. Ranlett, I can't
it
remember.
was to Mr. Fagnan.
Okay,
So, Joe.
that's the last of that topic that has been discussed, was Jason's letter. No one's come back, that's one of the reasons we invited, so we don't have to do it at board meetings, a working group
Yeah.
to sort things out.
Yeah, so if that work group can be, you know, probably like formulated, you know, quickly.
Yeah.
And
Give me a name.
Address,
Give me a name, I'll set
Sure.
up, no,
I'll keep on saying that, Mel, just to, no, I'm kidding, just, I'll, you know,
Just-
find out for you.
all right.
Or actually, send me an email, and I'll respond to it, how about that?
I don't know if I have your email address.
Bolton, WBOLTON, @ live.com,
Live?
LIVE,
Yeah.
live. So that would be good to, you know, get that, you know, rolling and stuff, but, and then we could like revisit this, and stuff. But the other one is, we also suggested having like a greater board meeting with all three of you and all five of us, just to, you know, run through issues that kind of like have accumulated, just open communication. And I'm thinking, at least my desire would be for just the 8 of us to sit down and address certain issues that probably are worthy of non-public. So
Oh,
it'd be personnel, you know.
there'd be
issue.
personnel issues?
So you mean both to the exclusion of the town administrator and our administrator?
Yes,
Okay.
and just sit down someplace, and you might have some issues you'd like to bring up as well. And, you know, as long as they're of a non-public nature, we could have a bona fide larger board meeting. And if that's acceptable.
I'm trying to think what kind of personnel issues that both boards would be qualified to be in the non-public session.
Because we have different personnel, right?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
still have staff that interact.
but say your staff, you want to talk about your staff, it's not their business to be in the room while those things are discussed.
No, they won't be in the room. The
No,
staff will.
no.
What I think what
No,
Mel is
right,
saying is
'cause
that
it's-
the matters of your personnel are not our concern. That's what Mel's trying to say.
And vice versa.
And
Right.
vice versa,
Yeah.
the matters of our personnel
Okay, specifically like this, the response to Joe on the Foster Street, I think that would be of concern for.
Well, I
for
think
us.
those matters are really public matters. The substance of that letter is a public matter. It's about a street.
I think my point is if there are, it would be kind of like interesting to air perspectives on different issues that would be of a non-public nature with just us eight. Maybe you can think about that. If,
Yeah, we don't have to certainly
Right.
make a decision about it right now.
right.
We might have to look at,
Well, I've got it
Rules
right in
to-
front of me.
Yeah, the RSA.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out what the
We tried very hard
RSA
to
is.
honor the non-public session
As do
exclusions.
we now. We target the,
I'll have to talk with you about that sometime.
okay,
Just
give me a call. You got my email.
I will. The only people that should be in the room when a board is talking about personnel should be the board and a key staff member if the board chooses, not another body, not another board. And if you want to talk about a road, that's public. Or a drainage project, that would be public. I don't know what you.
I mean, I think I sort of understand. So if I'm reading into this correctly, there is a little bit of a disagreement with how one of our employees spoke to one of your employees.
Could be that, sure.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I think that might be something for Mel and the employee to talk with you and your employee together.
Right, I supervise Jason, so if that is what we're talking about, I would love to hear what the problem is and would manage it.
Yeah, see, it's kind of hard because we're not overseeing your employees and you're not overseeing our employees. It would be different if we were all one group, but we aren't. So
It could be, we supervise or at least oversee Paul
Right.
and you oversee Mel.
correct.
So, it could be like, that.
But if you were to abstract this to the situation where the town of Plymouth were interacting with, say, the town of Holderness on a similar issue, I'm trying to think does the RSA apply in that situation where that would be specifically non-public? I don't have enough experience with
That
this
might be
stuff.
a question for our attorney,
Or their attorney?
our attorney.
Yeah,
We just need to make sure we do it right, We don't want to get yelled
yeah,
at.
I don't think it's,
I
It's not that we don't want to talk to you. I know it sounds like we're
So let-
not, that we don't want to talk to
It
you.
becomes-
Let me just back out for a second.
Yeah.
So if the Plymouth board would
Select
like,
board or us board?
the Plymouth Select Board wants to talk about a district employee in non-public session.
a water and sewer district.
Correct,
Yes.
water, sewer. Nothing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is anything preventing them from coming to us and speaking to us in non-public session, just the three of us?
I don't
Except
know.
protocol, since I supervise him, and wouldn't I be the first line to get the complaint if there is one?
Okay, so maybe there's a protocol, yeah, it could be. But let's say we've addressed that protocol.
Right,
So,
sure,
for
then yes.
the sake of this conversation, that protocol has been addressed. So the next step would be that the Plymouth Select Board wants to talk with the village district's commissioners about this in non-public session. And that could, and here's the question, could that be a meeting without our administrator in that room?
That's your call,
Okay.
to have key personnel in the room. And also, I would suggest you might want to have an attorney in the room to keep both boards within right to know law. The more people in the room when there's a non-public session, the less it becomes a non-public session.
Right.
If there's
Yes.
if we included the treasurer in a conversation about staff, not key,
Right,
unless the treasurer had also a
right,
concern.
specific, right.
Then you've just rendered it not qualified for non-public.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out what the, I feel like we're putting up roadblocks, but I don't want to I want to make sure if we're going to do this, we do it the right way.
Well, legally, yes.
Right,
Well, because otherwise you violate people's rights.
Okay.
Like any
Right.
of the prospective.
so I mean, if there's an issue, then it would be that either our board, if we're having an issue, present it through you, we say, we're having a horrible time with, Peter O'Toole, and we really need this to be addressed. You would discuss it with Paul Freitas or the select
I don't know-
board?
I
or
don't know how they're-
Yeah, how, I don't even think we know the hierarchy correctly, but, and I would think the same would be true. If you guys are having trouble with Peter O'Toole, you would come to Mel first. Mel would bring it to us. We would have non-public, and then Mel would, right?
Yeah, I guess
I just don't understand.
if there were a citizen complaint, you'd field it.
Right,
You'd field it, not at a meeting. And
right.
me,
Citizen complaint, it would come to you, you would talk to the person,
I would-
the
yeah, I would
offending
evaluate-
individual.
Yeah, I would talk to the complaint
To
person.
E.
Yeah,
Yes, complaint E.
yeah, and evaluate it and hear the other side of the story and proceed as if it were a regular personnel matter.
Right.
So getting back to my example though, so if we had a problem with the way Mel did something, or you had a problem with the way Paul had done something, and that you specifically want to go to our board to discuss it, that would be acceptable, use of non-public to address a personnel
So
issue.
I think we're getting closer to what I thought you began in the first place. So I think the question is, Bill, is how are the two boards, how or if can the two boards get together legally in a way not to disparage their employees and talk about certain individuals? And I think I know what you want to do now. I think we need to start talking with our attorneys on how to make this happen the safest way.
What the scope of
Right.
conversation
Should-
should or
should-
should not be.
cover.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
The qualification is the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee, or the disciplining of any such employee, or the investigation of any charges against him or her, unless the person has a right to a hearing and requests that it be held in public.
Well, disciplining is pretty broad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, or investigating charges.
Right.
And charges is,
Anything?
Yeah.
well, I don't know if it's anything. I mean,
Yeah, charges sounds like.
yeah,
Somebody
charges could mean a lot of things.
Right.
So,
Anyway,
But
putting it out there.
just because you want to talk about somebody else, you don't necessarily get to do it in non-public session.
Yeah, but I'm just floating it, and
Yes.
and also we'll chat with our attorney too, just to make sure that's kosher.
We promise not to complicate this any further than we have to. I didn't
Right.
expect it to roll on this long, but
But
I'm
it
sure you
seems to me
appreciate
that- There
that.
seems to
Well,
me
sitting
there'd be a
back
lot
here,
of, a lot of public matters that the boards might want to discuss.
Right. Oh, definitely. And then, I mean, if it's public, then whoever wants to be here is
Streets,
here. It's-
drains.
Right, exactly. Streets, drains.
Traffic, whatever,
Yep.
all in public.
Okay,
Any other comments?
I'm done.
Okay, very good. At
Are we done then?
6:17,
Well, we need
Oh.
to set next meeting dates.
okay, yes, we can do that. Once again, I'm overlooking
It's not-
words
it's
on the
not on the-
page.
No, it's actually not. Oh, yes, it is. I
It
was gonna
is
say
there?
it's not on there,
Yes.
but it is there. See, I can't even read. I'm still in February.
So
It's almost April.
we could meet next week. We could meet on the 17th.
how does all of this play out with other calendars that are happening?
So, the 17th I have CCC,
What is that?
College Community Council.
Oh, yeah.
Well, aren't we due to meet on the 10th?
Yeah, but Kim would have to attend you,
Okay,
if she was willing to.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know if,
I don't think it's her favorite, but she'll do it. So the 10th and the 24th?
Acceptable to me.
it works for me.
All right.
Can I interject something? So I'm the select board rep now on the water sewer district, so.
Great, welcome aboard.
And
Bill.
also Brian Utah, so
All right.
he might be attending if he has got
Okay.
time. so.
Yeah, we try to keep it the second and fourth Tuesday, but it doesn't always happen, just, you know.
We
Life
were
gets
there
in
when
the
you
way.
announced it last week.
Yeah,
We have a very high-tech mechanism for informing the public of our meetings. You'll see it tacked to the side of our building here. So when you drive by, you can just...
Courtesy of the late
how many times have I
Commissioner,
driven by and I haven't noticed
no,
that,
courtesy
so
of the
just
late
big
Commissioner Larry
numbers.
Crowley.
Check it out.
That's right.
Larry Crowley had us do
Okay.
that.
Mm.
And if that escapes you, you can always check the website and the paper postings.
Yes.
And you post on the town website, right? You don't
No, we
throw it
posted
up
on
to
our
town?
own.
It's on ours.
Okay.
But we have a link on your website.
Okay.
So you can go from the town's website to our website. So we're all linked together. Somewhere along the line, you can find out the info.
Yeah.
Do we want to bring it into May too?
No, why not?
Okay.
So, the 10th, right? That
10th
was-
and the
10th and the
24th.
24th. Is that,
He's growling.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
That was a fine growl.
Did you hear that?
I did.
There's more of a hum.
I'm sure the mic picked it up too.
Are we good?
At 6:20, I will call this meeting adjourned.